Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Jeff, and thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Artistic Vision. Today we are joined with special guest and painter Ryan Powell, who we've had the privilege to have on set today. So I'm happy to introduce our guest today, Ryan. So, Ryan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's very exciting to be here today.
Yep, we've got a lot to cover in a very little time, so let's get right down to it. So, first off, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm an artist originally from Marlton, New Jersey, now living in Medford, and this is actually my first year on campus because when I started here it was remote. And I am primarily a cartoonist. That's kind of my forte when I do my art stuff. Like, I usually stick to colored pencils, but I've been, as you can see, I've been doing a lot of painting lately.
Yep. Well, art is just a beautiful thing. It's a medium that's never going to die down. Now, with that said, I also want to ask, what inspired you to draw and get into the world of art?
That's a hard question because it's like, people told me that I was just born with it, and my parents were like, we feel like art is your future. So I kind of just went with that. And I mean, the world needs creative people, so.
Yep. Now, do you have a favorite artist?
Yes. I would say my favorite classic artist is Frida Kahlo. She and I sort of had that same like gist of like that introverted spirit. Like, you know, I would paint pictures of myself because I'm often alone. I tend to draw a lot of pictures of myself because I spend a lot of time on my own.
Oh, well, I mean, it's pretty good artistic vision. I mean, it gives you a good chance to be able to visualize yourself with your own unique skill. Mm-hmm. I myself am personally a fan of Frank Frazetta's work.
Yes, yes.
Now, understandably, you mentioned about cartoonists, and that implies about the use of animation. Do you have a particular favorite form of animation?
Really any kind of animation is good in my mind. I actually really like claymation. Like all the, like kind of like the Leica and Tim Burton movies.
Yeah, no, it's Tim Burton. I mean, if it wasn't for any of the eerie stuff, claymation, it's very delicate, but it's so worth watching because it can look lifelike.
Yes,
but
yeah.
There's also the topics of like the way how you look at classical art versus like modern art. Like how back then there was a rubber hose animation in the likes of, say, like Felix the Cat and Popeye.
Yes.
And then there is modern cartoons from the likes of, say, like South Park and Family Guy. Mm-hmm. Now, with the characters that you have, do you have a favorite character to draw?
Do you mean like one that exists or one of my own?
Just one that exists.
Ooh, that's a good question because there's so many. Well, my favorite cartoon is The Loud House, so it's newer, but you know, yeah, it's so one of my most favorites. All the characters on that show I like to draw.
All right. Well, Ryan, I just want to let you know that it is our pleasure to have you on our show. But we are going to cut to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a closer look at your artwork. So stick around, everybody.
Ask them how they are. Become in tune to where their emotions lie. Follow up. And if all else fails, tell a trusted source. Remember, a raft can be used to save a life, and remembering the acronym RAFT may help you save a life too.
welcome back, everyone. So, Ryan, now that we've had our fill of being able to talk about your artwork, I want us to take a look at some of the work that you happen to brought in, starting with your physical work, and we'll work our way over to your social media work.
Okay.
So, anyway, what can you tell us about this piece of artwork that you have?
All right. Well, the assignment for this one I took with Kyle Margiotta, and I was supposed to make a triptych scene of things progressing, things like changing over time. So I'm really into fashion when it comes to, especially like I have this whole blast from the past kind of attitude. So I made outfits in my likeness of an outfit representing the 1960s, the 70s, and the 80s.
Ah, all right. They look very trendy, very hip.
Thank you.
Besides that, though, you do have a lot of other nice pieces of artwork too. I see that you also have this particular piece set up. Can you tell us anything interesting about this?
Yes, this was a still life that I was instructed to paint in John Mitchell's color theory course. And it is, just your basic still life to use a specific color palette and to sort of chalk it up to minimal colors for each area of the painting. So this was just a view from outside of the window that is in our classroom. And I, not to brag, but I think it turned out pretty well.
Oh, it looks brilliant. It looks pretty. I feel like that the shadows definitely give it some like figurative depth of the setting.
Thank you.
All right, so we took a look at two pieces of your physical artwork, and obviously we have your other piece of art here to show. But now let's take a look at some of your online artwork that you have featured on social media.
Okay.
So what can you tell us about this piece?
Well, that was an introductory piece when I was taking classes at Repenning Fine Arts in Audubon. It was kind of just a starter to get a feel of drawing. So it was just a still life of a wax pear and a jug. And that's really all there is to tell about it. Just that.
All right, that's really nice. Now, what could you tell us about this next picture?
Okay, that was also Kyle's class. It was to paint a metaphor, and the one that I chose was America is a melting pot. Therefore, I chose a melting pot with the colors of the American flag with other countries on the inside.
Nice. And what could you tell us about this next one?
This was digital, completely digital, a very recent class where it was, I was told to make a stamp for a U.S. state. I chose Indiana and something that represents the state, which in my case I chose a basketball hoop because of like the Pacers and stuff like that.
Awesome, awesome. All right, a few more photos. What can you tell us about this one? That was the last one? All right. Well, we're not able to show the rest of the photos here, but we're really glad to have you on board, Ryan, and thank you for sharing us some of your talent.
Thank you.
Now, when we return, it's game time, so stick around. For now, enjoy our latest segment of a sit-down with local artist Brian Milligan.
I've been drawing since I was a little child, as far back as I can remember. Something I threw myself into. My mom can attest to this because I would draw all over the walls with a crayon, and she loved that. Started taking art classes after that. My favorite thing to draw is probably just superheroes and any kind of cartoony comic strip type thing that me and my friend like to come up with. We have our own comic strip on Webtoon. It's basically a characterization of our friend Walt and his angry attitude towards life. So stuff like that. But yeah, mostly it's been superheroes because I got into comics probably around age 10, back in the early 90s, late 80s, and yeah, during the boom and the golden age of modern comics. Say to anyone who is wanting to be an artist or has aspirations to draw or anything like that as a young kid, just go for it. But practice. Draw every minute you can. That's the only way you're going to improve. Look at other artists, learn from them, study technique, embrace technology. I mean, I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I don't know Photoshop or any of that stuff, but I have friends who take care of that for me. I prefer just pen and ink, but it's amazing the stuff you can do nowadays.
So I know you're really good at doing voices. Can you do a few of them for us? I thought you could do Donald Duck.
I can't have him talk. I can just have him freak out, like. Oh, no.
Unfortunately, the stress of college life can prove to be...
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are finishing the show with a game of Pictionary. Ryan, I'm sure you know the rules.
Yes.
But in case anyone else doesn't, let me explain for the folks at home. Our special guest is going to see this prompt that's going to feature an image that you have to draw and I have to guess.
Okay.
And essentially, if you are able to, if I'm able to guess it quickly before you finish drawing it, then I get a point. But if I get it wrong by the time you actually do finish drawing it, you get the point.
Alrighty.
All right. So basically, we are going to get started with drawing this, and do we have a timer? All right. Here you go.
Okay.
All right. We are going to have an image up there. I am not allowed to look at it, and essentially, we are going. You are going to draw whatever it is based on what you see. And actually, when you do this, we want you to hold it up something like this, so this way the audience could see it.
Okay.
And we are going to have you draw it, and as you draw it, I will try to guess and see what it is.
Okay.
All right? All right. Ready? All right, let's see. Is it Snoopy? Snoopy Clifford? Clifford, no, it's a dog. It's a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, dog. Okay, I'm not sure why I was being so specific on it. Okay, so it was just a dog. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a dog.
I don't know. It made it seem like it had to be more difficult than
All
it
right,
was.
so do I keep going?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So we got that. All right. Spaceship, saucer, space saucer. Oh, hamburger.
More specific.
Or, cheeseburger.
Yes.
Okay, cheeseburger. All right, we got cheeseburger. Let's see. All right. If I had to guess.
Oh, jeez.
All right, let's see. Okay, two poles. It's a wreath. Wait, no. Handles. Oh, nunchucks.
Yes.
Nunchucks. Okay. Oh, all right, nunchucks. Okay, so we got nunchucks. All right, let's see what's next. It's Batman.
Yes.
I've got Batman on my mind, but wow. Okay. All right. Are there any more? Oh, all right. I guess that's it. Then that about does it. So, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so great having you on our show.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
And thanks to everyone tuning in to another episode of Artistic Vision. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.